Hey, before you agree to making that dress for that price, watch this video to the end. Hello and welcome to Princess Fashion. My name is Sarah. On this channel, my goal is to help Nigerian tailors, fashion entrepreneurs, and fashion designers in general to learn soft skills that will help them to scale their fashion business and build thriving fashion businesses in Nigeria. Welcome to my channel. Today we'll be talking about how to calculate the cost of making a garment accurately. How do you charge your customers? What do you put into consideration while charging your customers? I've seen some tailors come on Facebook to ask, excuse me, how much do I charge for this dress? How much will you charge for this dress? While for some others, we just consider the material cost, just sleep and wake up, think of any price and add to it as if they are gambling, and then that would be the cost. While some, they don't even, whatever it is the spirits tell them to do, that's what they charge. So how do you do yours? So in this video, I'll be showing you the correct way to charge accurately so that you can be profitable in this fashion business. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I said welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for sticking around. Welcome back. I promise that this episode will also be interesting and worth your while. Now, let's dive into it. Before we talk about how to calculate your costs accurately, let's talk about why it's important you calculate this cost accurately. Why do you need to accurately calculate the cost of making a garment? First, it helps you to avoid losses. Just giving an arbitrary cost or arbitrary price to the making of a garment will not make you be sure of what actually goes into the production of that dress. But the moment you are able to, you should be able to calculate what actually goes into the production. That's why you'll be able to avoid underpricing yourself. Because if you are underpricing yourself, then I'm not sure you will last in business. I'm so sure you will not last in business because you will not be able to, if you are not able to cover your costs of what is it being in business. And another thing is that it helps in building clients' trust. Clients trust fashion designers that can confidently give them price for what they are making for them and explain how the prices come about. If you are able to do that, you gain your customers' trust. They will know that this person knows what she is doing. If the person can accurately give me this call, then that's a step in the right direction, knowing that the person will be able to deliver on what they promised to deliver. And lastly, which is closely related to the first one, it will help you to remain profitable. You are not running a charity business. So if you are running a business, you should make profits so as to be able to grow. Whatever you are charging customer for making a particular outfit should be enough to cover your costs and leave some for you to grow your business. If you do not know how much you're charging, if you do not know if what you're charging is covering your costs, there's no way you'll be able to make profits or grow your business. And that's why you see some persons that they've been in business and they've been in the same position for like 5 years, 10 years. That's because they are only trying to make a living out of business. That's not how to run business. Enough of that. Let's talk about why we are here. How do you accurately calculate the cost of making a garment? For us to be able to do that, there are four components to making a garment. Four components of cost to making any garment. Missing any part of this component will automatically mean that you are not charging correctly. So we'll take one of these components one after the other and then explain it. The first one is obvious. That's the material cost. When you hold a dress, you know you see what goes into it. The fabric, maybe the lining, the interfacing, the zip, the thread. Those are the material costs. Those are the direct material costs that holding the dress, you know what you are holding. And this is the part of cost that most of us usually add into our costs. But then after the material cost, we also have the labor cost. Having the materials, the materials will not just metamorphose into the garments that we want. Some people are behind the machine that will make the thing happen. Talk about the cost of your tailor. If you are the tailor yourself, then the cost of you sitting behind the sewing machine to sew, the cost of you holding the scissors to cut, the cost of you going to that fabric vendor to buy materials, and all the other costs combined make up your labor cost. That's the second component. This third component, I can bet that 50% of Nigerian tailors, I mean small scale tailors, don't factor this in. That includes the cost of rentals, the cost of renting the shop you are using. You don't just wake up at the end of the year and say you want to pay your rent. Each garment you are making is supposed to have contributed a fraction of that your rent every time you make a garment. So that is part of your overhead cost. Another part of your overhead cost is your electricity bill. So all this electricity cost, when you are holding your fabric, you don't see electricity on it. When you are holding your fabric, you don't see rent on holding the dress rather, you don't see the rent on it. These are the overheads, in the indirect costs that are used, cost of items used up in making that garment that are not easily noticeable by others. Your machine might go bad and you want to call a technician to fix it for you. The cost of you, the price you're going to pay the technician, a fraction of it should be paid by the garment you're making. Afterwards, because you are working on, that's why you need to fix the machine. Not be so. Yeah, those are overhead costs. They are also important parts of your cost. And then finally, you have the profit. I want you to hold your ears right now and repeat after me. Your profit is not the same thing as your labor cost. Your profit is not the same thing as your labor cost. I've seen tailors that we only consider the material cost and then add something on it. Oh, this is the workmanship. Thank you. This is the workmanship, and then no profit. As you are charging for workmanship, you are also charging for profit. Workmanship is the cost of you sitting at the sewing machine to make the dress for that period of time. Profit is what you are going to use to grow your business in the nearest future. They are not together. And how do you come about this profit margin? The addition of the first three costs we've talked about, the material cost, the labor cost, and your overhead, a percentage of this, the addition of these three will make up your profit margin. I'm going to demonstrate this as we go on. But just to recap, there are four components of cost which you always have to put into consideration while charging your customers: your material cost, your labor cost, your overheads, then your profit. We are going to use an example to demonstrate how to get your profit margin and also how to calculate your overall cost, that the price you are going to charge your customer now. Let's assume that you want to make a dress, and then the total material cost for that dress, the lining, the interfacing, the zip, the material cost is 10,000 naira. That accounts for your material cost. After doing your calculation, you realize that you spend what you're charging as the tailor making the dress is 5,000 naira. That's just a value. Yeah, it's subjective to you. So what you're charging for making that your work, okay, in general term, your workmanship is 5,000 naira. Okay, so that makes 15,000 naira. And then you realize that there are overheads, the cost of electricity, a fraction of your rent, cost of fixing your sewing machine, everything amounts to 3,000 naira. So in all, your material cost, your overhead, and your labor cost equals 15,000 naira. Now imagine you want to set a percentage of 50% of your total cost as your profit margin. Uh, Depending on your customer, you can decide what percentage of your total cost you charge on the market you're serving as profit. But I always advise on no account should you charge less than 30% of your total cost so as to remain profitable in business and be able to keep going. At least you should be able to grow a little now. So now let's imagine we are using 50% as a profit margin. So we look for 50% of 18,000 naira. That will give us 9,000 naira, half of it. Then we are adding this 9,000 naira back to the 18,000 naira we have at first. That gives us 27,000. So if you are quoting your price to your customer, this is what you are giving your customer. At this point, this is when you can say you are profitable. It's not like you use um, your labor cost as profit. No, your labor cost is on its own. Your profit is on its own. This is what your customer should be seeing as the price for making that dress. This is how you accurately calculate the cost that goes into making a dress. Now that you know how to calculate your cost accurately, it's time to put it into practice. The next time someone asks you, how much do you make dresses? You don't just open your mouth, wow, and say, I make dresses for 10K, I make dresses for 20K. Get the style, understand what goes, each of the item that goes into making that dress, cost it, then before you arrive at the price to give your customer. Have you struggled with pricing in times past? What has helped you to cope? Has this video been helpful? Please drop your comments in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Maybe you can also be of help to other soulmates who might be struggling. And please, if you have found this video helpful, please like so that more people can see it, more tailors can see it. Subscribe so that you can see more of my videos, and even turn on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to get notified each time I upload a video. Also, share with fellow tailors. You are not the only one that will want to benefit from this. And until I come your way next time, keep creating, keep thriving, keep building success, profitable businesses. I am Sarah, and this is Princess Fashion. Bye.